Hello students, welcome back. I hope you are enjoying all the science sessions. Yes? Okay. So let's get started with today's new session. Before we start, let's have a quick recap what we learned prior. I hope you remember that we started with the different agriculture practices. I told you that there are 7 different agriculture practices or the 7 steps that the farmer has to follow so that he gets the bumper yield. Yes? Okay. So then I told you the first agriculture practices that was related to, yes, preparation of soil. Yes, in preparation of soil, I told you how the farmer uses different agriculture implements to prepare his field, right? Then we went for the next step, that was sowing. I hope you remember that in sowing, selection of seed is very important for farmer to get the proper yield. Yes, then next step was, last time I explained you about manure and fertilizer. I explained you about the several benefits of crop rotation also. Yes, then I explained you how the farmer is using more and more chemical fertilizer to get bumper crop, and what are the bad effects or ill effects of fertilizer. Though this topic was not included in your chapter, I felt it's very important to know about your health, and that's why I explained you that topic. Yes, and the important part of this session was, I had told you about the activity or experiment to perform. Okay, I hope you have started doing this activity. You need to click the photographs and send it so that I can show to all students in the upcoming sessions. Yes? So please start sending your photographs. Okay, let's start with today's topic. Today's topic is very important. Important because, as you know, once the farmer gives the manure and fertilizer, that is food to the plant, he needs to water the plant. Watering the plant is nothing but irrigation. Children, one interesting fact I want to tell you here or share with you, that is 70% of world's water is used for agriculture. How much percent I said? 70% of water. Isn't it a huge number? Yes. And that's why agriculture plays an in agriculture, irrigation plays an important role, because if the farmer use the water properly, economically, he can increase his profit. Yes, that's why irrigation is very important. If the farmer has a small piece of land, he can water his plants manually. The picture which I have shared here. But if the farmer is having a big land of almost, we can say 1 acre, 2 acres, or 10 acres of land, do you think it is possible for the farmer to water his crop manually? No, not at all. It's nearly impossible. So he has to follow few methods for irrigation that we are going to study. Okay, before that, let's see what is irrigation. Irrigation is a process of applying controlled amount of water to the plant at needed interval. This is a definition of irrigation. What does it mean? The process of applying controlled amount of water, giving a controlled amount of water to the plant at needed interval. When the plant needs the water, at that time the farmer has to water the crop. This is called as irrigation. Yes, important definition, irrigation. Now, irrigation helps to grow agriculture crop, maintain landscapes, and revegetate disturbed soil in the dry areas. and during period of less than average rainfall. Means what, children? If the rainfall is less, or if the water supply is less in that particular area, the farmer has to irrigate his crop. The farmer has to give water to the crop, and that is irrigation. The purpose of irrigation is to supply proper amount of adequate amount of water when the rainfall is not sufficient. As you know that Indian farmers mostly depend on rain for water, and if the rainfall is not proper, then he needs to give water to the crop. If he don't give water to the crop, what is going to happen? The Yes, the plants will dry. As you know, every year you might have seen the headlines, uh, mostly it comes in June and July. You all know that now rainy season crops are cultivated. Means sowing of rainy season crop is done. Rainy season, yes, kharif season, very good. So now what happens is, at this time actually the farmer prepares the land and sows the seeds, and Indian farmers wait for rainfall. That is, you all know that rainfall in India starts in June, and so the farmer waits for the rainfall so that the seeds will get sufficient amount of water and it will grow. What happens now, some many times the rainfall pattern is changing every year because of many reasons. The main reason, as you all know, is pollution, and so many a time it happens that it doesn't rain properly in June. So what happens then? If the farmer is not having proper irrigation system and he is totally depend on rain, yes, what will happen? The seeds will not grow. And you might have seen many times the headlines on the televisions, in the newspapers, saying that the farmer has to again sow the seeds. Why? Because his first sowing has been destroyed because there was no rainfall. So again he has to buy the seeds, again he has to sow the seeds. My God. So rainfall, if it is not sufficient, and if the farmer is having a proper facility of irrigation, he can grow his crop properly. Now, irrigation, it helps to cultivate superior crop with water supply as per the need of the crop. Whenever water is needed, the farmer can give the water to his crop. Ultimately, it helps in the economical development. Yes, it helps in getting more and more, yes, yield, which will lead to get more and more profit to the farmer. Means he will get more money. Yes, so irrigating water improves water conditions in the soil also. It increases water contents of the plant fibers also, and dissolve nutrients in the plant, and so it makes it available to the plant, and so the plant grows healthier. And if the plant grow healthier, it will give more and more yield. Yes, and this will help farmer to get more and more profit. Yes. Now, from where the water can be made available for the farmer? As you know, today's irrigation systems use reservoirs, tanks, and water, well, we can say well water, to supply water for the crops. So farmer is using all these resources to supply water to the crops. In reservoir, what is there? What is included in reservoir? Aquifer. What is an aquifer? It is nothing but underground, yes, underground level of water. Now, all water also can be collected from the snow melt. Right now you all know that Himalayan ranges, there is lot of snow fall, and this snowfall is in, actually what happens is in summer season, winter season, it is there is snowfall, and in the summer season the snow starts melting, and so this water can be used by the farmer in the Himalayan region. Lakes as well as dams which are created by humans, to the dams, canals or pipelines will carry the water from these reservoirs, from these dams and many other canals to the fields, right? So this is how the farmer gets the water. Now, if this water supply is very important, traditionally also few methods were used by the farmer in olden time so that he irrigates his land. Okay, now these systems were used specially in the rural areas and in olden times. Nowadays, modern methods, they use electric pumps and many other equipments to water the plants. But in in olden days, humans as well as animals were used for, what we can say, irrigate the land. Let's see some of these systems which were used in traditional irrigation methods or olden, we can say, methods of irrigation. The first one is called as moat. Okay, I have shared a picture also here. Can you see a farmer? What he is doing? He is using a pulley to remove the water from the well. Now, a pulley system is involved in this moat. What is done is the water is pulled out from the well with the help of a pulley. Here, the farmer is manually removing the water, and it is very cost effective. He did not have to give any money for it because he is using his own energy to pull the water from the well. He's not using any electricity here, right? So it is very cost effective. Very less money is required. And in this system, less wastage of water is done because it is done manually and properly. So no water wastage is there in this system, right? Did you understand moat? What is moat? It is called as a pulley system also, right? And water is removed from the well, pulled from the well. It is very cost effective. Yes, let's go to the next one. Chain system. The name itself suggests what might be there. Chain is there, right? A chain pump consists of two large wheels. Can you see the two wheels? Wheels, first one at the top and the other one in the, yes, water resource. There is a wheel, right? Now the bucket is attached to this chain. Can you see the chain? Buckets are attached to this chain, and the wheel turns. The buckets pick up the water. The chain later lifts them to the upper wheel, and there where the water gets disposed to the source. Yes, can you see here the water has been disposed, and the empty buckets get carried back to the source, that is to the water resource. This is quite interesting, right? The name itself suggests what? Chain pump means chain is involved, right, in this particular system. Okay. Then third is Dickie. Dickie is a process of drawing water from the well or a similar resource, water resource. It can be a lake, yes, and at you can see the rope is tied at one end and the bucket to a pole. Okay, see, you can see a pole, and to that what is tied? A bucket, or you can say any type of a bucket type, any system can be tied to it, and the other end, what is tied? A heavy weight is tied. And so what happens? It has to counterbalance the weight, and with the help of that, the farmer tries to remove the water or draw the water from the resource, whatever lake, river, whatever is there. From there the water is drawn, and this is actually different method, same method in which different picture, I'm sorry, different picture in which you can see the farmer has tied a bucket to a long, what we can say, uh, wooden log, and then what he will do with his weight, what he will do, first he will drop the bucket into the water, and then he will pull that back, and then what will be there done? The water will be filled in the bucket, and the other person who is standing next to the well is going to put the water into the fields. This is called as Dickie. Okay, the last one is Rahat. Rahat is used by uh, pulled by the animals. Above the well, there is a large wheel tied. Okay, and the cow or a ox will turn the wheel to draw the water from the well. To get a clear idea, I'm sharing another picture. I hope you will understand what is done here. Can you see the two ox which are, trying to remove water from the well, and there is a big, what we can say, wheel over here. This wheel, this ox will go round and round, and so the water will be drawn from the river. Yes, and this is how the water is supplied to the plants or crop. Okay, I hope you understood all the four different types of traditional method. Yes, what was the first one? The first one was, yes, moat. Yes, in moat what is used? A pulley is used. Second was, the name itself suggests, chain pump, in which what will be there? Chains are used to draw the water. Then is Dickie. In Dickie, what is there? There is a pole which is being used. Yes. And the last one is Rahat, and in which what is used? A big wheel and the pair of a ox or a cow is used. Okay. Now, this is all about the traditional methods. Now, let's try and see what are the modern irrigation methods. Modern irrigation methods are very important because they are very cost effective. They reduce the amount of money required to, yes, to supply water, right? And these are actually nowadays used by the farmer. Okay, these are the more effective or efficient, we can say, irrigation systems that were invented in recent decades. These are invented few years back only. These help a farmer to use water economically without wastage. As I said, 70% of world's water is used for irrigation. The farmer has to use water properly. If he wastes the water, it is going to be very difficult for everyone, right? So he has to use his water supply efficiently, right? So let us take a look at important, what we can say, important systems, that is drip and sprinkle irrigation systems, which are called as a modern irrigation system. Before we go for that, let's see the advantages of irrigation system. As you know, modern irrigation, I want to say, okay, water in this modern irrigation system, the water reaches directly to the root of the plants. It saves lot of water, as I said before also. and more area is irrigated. Yes, in less time. Weeds do not grow more because the water reaches directly to the plant and it is not wasted, and so the weeds are not grown in the field as the water do not spread everywhere, right? So the crop yield is also increased by this method. uh, so these are few advantages of what we can say irrigation. Now let's see the two main methods of irrigation, modern methods. First is the sprinkler and the second is drip irrigation. Now, the first, sprinkle. The name itself suggests what will be there in the sprinkler irrigation system. The water is sprinkled. Yes, sprinkled in the form of rainfall. You can see the water just falling in a form of, yes, of rainfall. Very good. Sprinkler irrigation is a method of applying irrigation water to the irrigation water, which is similar to the rainfall, as I said before. Okay, water is distributed through a system of pipes, usually by pumping. Yes, with the help of the pump, the water is removed from the source. It is then sprayed into the air and irrigate entire soil surface through a spray head so that it breaks up into a small water droplets which falls on the ground, and this water droplets look as if it is raining. Can you see this picture? This is actually the sprinkler system. I hope you have seen in our school also the Mali Mama using this particular sprinkler in the lawn area of our school. Yes, even on the football ground you might have seen the sprinkler used in our school. Yes, so this is the sprinkler system wherein water falls in a form of a rainfall and it helps the plant to, yes, grow healthier. Yes, next one. Let's see the advantages of sprinklers irrigation system. Supplies all for all types of fields. Yes, means this particular sprinkler system is useful for all types of fields except the heavy clay soil. Why except the heavy clay soil? You all know that last year you have studied in soil chapter that in clay soil water remains in clay soil and the water holding capacity of clay soil is more. So if the sprinkler system is used, what is going to happen? Lot of water will get accumulated in the clay soil, and if the water gets accumulated, what is going to happen? The crop may get damaged. That is why it is what we can say not useful for clay soil. Uniform distribution of water with high efficiency. I showed you the picture. Uniformly the water gets distributed every place, right? Less land loss provides more land area for cultivation. Land loss is less. More and more land comes under cultivation because of the sprinkler system. Loss of water is less or minimum, we can say. Accurate and easy measurement of water distribution. The amount of water to be given to the plant can be measured accurately. Sprinkler system is very useful for sandy soils. Yes, so these are the few advantages of sprinkler irrigation. Let's go to the next is the drip irrigation. Okay, children, before we go for drip irrigation, I would like to share an interesting story related to one this irrigation, and it is about Israel. I hope you know that Israel has a Negev desert barren area. Almost 60% of land is desert over there. But still, if you, for your information, Israel is best in agriculture. It has used its barren land and has converted this into irrigate, what we can say, agricultural land. And it was possible only and only because they are using drip irrigation. In the desert also they are growing crop. Isn't it very interesting to know this? Children, one more important fact I would like to share here. 87% of water, wastewater I want to say, in Israel is used for irrigation. It doesn't mean that the farmer is using the wastewater for irrigation. This wastewater is again converted uh, into usable water, and then it is reused for irrigation. And so they don't waste water at all in Israel. They have tremendous amount of shortage of water actually, because lot of desert area and less rainfall. But still they are, you know, uh, growing lot of crops in this desert area. And why it is possible? Because of drip irrigation. Actually, irrigation was invented in Israel. Children, there was an engineer in Israel named Shimon Blast. And there what happened is, once when he was in a field, he found that there was one plant which was growing very healthy as compared to other, and this area was a desert area. And then he tried to find out what is the reason behind this plant to grow so healthier. And when he studied, he found that there was a water pipeline which was having a leakage over there. And so what has happened there to that particular plant? Water was given drop by drop, right? And because this water was given drop by drop, that plant had grown healthier. So actually, what we can say, observing this, he thought of drip irrigation. A lot of research was done, but it took many years for actual drip irrigation to come into process, because at that time plastic was not invented. After that, when the plastic was invented and plastic pipes were made, this drip irrigation system started. Okay, now as I told you, uh, we should actually not waste more water. Again, one more interesting fact here I would like to share. Children, if the farmer don't waste even 15% of water, how much I say? 15% of water he saves, what will happen, children? You know, almost the supply of water, drinking water, will increase by double of what is there now present. Isn't it very interesting fact to know? Means it shows that farmer should not waste water. And if he saves water, our drinking water source will increase, or amount of drinking water will increase. One more important thing here I would like to share. As I said, there is no water in Israel. Do you know, children, that people in Israel convert or desalinate the Mediterranean sea water? As you know that Mediterranean sea, any sea water is salty, and you cannot drink sea water because it is salty. So in Israel, what do you know what they do? They convert the sea water into fresh water, and then they use this water, yes, for drinking purpose also. One more interesting fact to save water, what they do in Israel, do you know? It is called as uh, water through air. Air transfer. Now, if I say water through air transfer, means what is done here? Children, I hope you know that in the morning, if you get up very early in the morning, you will see the dewdrops on the leaves of the plants, or there is dewdrops, right? Now, what happens to the dewdrops? When sun rises, this water gets evaporated back. Yes. Now, what in Israel the farmer does is he puts a sheet of a plastic around the trees, right? Around the roots of the trees I'm talking about. And what happens is these dewdrops, what happens? These dewdrops get collected and then they fall down. When they fall down, they fall on this plastic sheet. This plastic sheet is having a slope towards the, yes, the roots of the trees. And so what happens, this drop by drop, this water get collected and this water is reused by the plants. That is 50% water is used by the plant this way. Isn't it very interesting? Yes. So this drip irrigation is very, very important. Can you see in the picture here? Drop by drop, the water is given to the crop. Yes, and then it saves water. Yes, drip irrigation. Let's come back to drip irrigation. Drip irrigation is the most used irrigation system which is used nowadays, because as I told you, this saves water. In drip irrigation, we lay plastic pipes. You can see here in the picture, I am shown the picture. The plastic pipes are there in a row to, near the crop or the plant, we can say. And these pipes are having small holes in them. The water seeps from these holes drop by drop. Yes, and hence the name drip irrigation. Drip irrigation is one of the most efficient irrigation system because it reduces, yes, water wastage in irrigation or in agriculture, as you see. Yes. So I hope you understood what is drip irrigation. Now, can you see another picture? This is a picture wherein you can see the water is supplied by drip irrigation. Drip irrigation is a type of micro irrigation system that has a potential to save water and nutrients by allowing the water to drip slowly to the roots of the plant, either from above the soil surface or buried below the surface. Means these pipes are above here. These pipes can be buried also in the soil. Yes, so this is drip irrigation system. Now, what are the advantages of drip irrigation system? I had already explained you, but let's do one by one. The goal is to place the water directly into the root zone and minimize evaporation. You all know that water gets evaporated. So this water evaporation is minimized because of drip irrigation. Importance of drip irrigation is the most efficient use of water and nutrients are given or delivered to the crop properly. With the water, many a time what the farmer does is he mixes different kinds of nutrients or hormones which are required for the growth of the crop. And so what happens with the water, what is supplied to the plant? Nutrients are also given to the crop, and then the crops grow healthier. Yes, to deliver water and nutrient directly to the plant root zone and in the right amount, not in excess amount, very proper amount the water is given, the nutrients are given at right time also. So each plant get exactly what is needed when it is needed to grow optimally and grow, yes, to its fullest, we can say. This system is the best technique for watering fruit, plants, garden and tree. Yes, for trees, for fruit plants and gardens, drip system is excellent, we can say. Water is not at all wasted, as I told you before, and it's a boon in the region where the availability of water is very poor. So wherever, whichever place there is less water supply, as I told you about the story of Israel. So this drip system is excellent working over there. Yes. Now, I am sharing an interesting video about irrigation. Please do watch it and come back to my class. Okay, students, I hope you have understood the topic. Now solve the assignment which I am sending, and bye-bye. See you next time.